Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Innovator Spotlight Information Session. I'm Alexandra Bacchus, the Partnerships Manager here at Newlab, and I'm excited to introduce this partnership with Bank of America and share more about what being a member at Newlab means and offers. So a little bit about Newlab before we dive in, and I'm actually joining you from our HQ here in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. We are a community of experts and innovators applying transformative technology to some of the world's biggest challenges. We do this through our membership in studios, which bring together entrepreneurs, startups, industry leaders, governments, and more to develop solutions to these problems together. With a focus on health, the environment, media, cities, and infrastructure, we've grown our community to include some really impactful technologies. Here's a snapshot. So they range from robotics to quantum computing, materials science, computer vision, AI and machine learning, connected systems, among many others. Our community has grown over the last few years to over 160 member companies and 800 plus individual members that have access to over $5 million in prototyping equipment and a network of investors they can tap into. Growing our startup community and making sure it's one that is both diverse and representative is a priority of ours and the partners that we work with. We launched Innovator Spotlight to provide entrepreneurs from underrepresented backgrounds with resources they need to build and scale companies. Up to 8 companies led by founders from underrepresented backgrounds will be selected to support diversity and inclusiveness in thought, sexual orientation, gender identity, race, ethnicity, disability, culture, and economic experience. These companies will each be awarded a 12-month Flex 2 membership for 2 individuals, which offers access to Newlab's 84,000 square foot space in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, Newlab's extensive network and resources that support business growth. We're really excited to share more about us and hopefully see some of you apply in the next week. And with that, I'll pass it over to Evelyn Castillo, the Consumer Regional Executive of Bank of America, who will share more about them and their commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And Alexandra, thank you so much for having me here today. So as Alexandra mentioned, my name is Evelyn Castillo, and I am the Manhattan North and New York City Consumer Banking Regional Executive at Bank of America. And I also have the honor of being a member of Bank's the New York City Market Executive Committee. So Bank of America believes in collaborative efforts, and we're always looking for new ways to expand our relationships. We believe that entrepreneurs and engineers who are addressing challenges and offering solutions that positively impact the world are the way of the future. So when we heard how transformative Newlab's vast memberships resources were for early companies such as collaborative community and the state-of-the-art equipment for prototyping and product development, we knew that we have found an outstanding, great partnership in the making. New York's small business and startup community has been devastated by the impact of the coronavirus. But we also know that the damage to minority-owned and underrepresented businesses has been significantly disproportionate. So in June 2020, Bank of America announced a $1 billion 4-year initiative to help advance racial equality and economic opportunity, with a particular focus on helping to create opportunity for people and communities of color. And just last month, I am proud to say that the bank expanded that commitment to $1.25 billion. Bank of America's partnership with Newlab through Innovator Spotlight aims to empower underrepresented business owners and really create a platform of growth and opportunity. And we could all agree that we need growth and opportunity. So on behalf of my colleagues here at Bank of America, we are proud to support Innovator Spotlight and look forward to your businesses transforming the future of our world. So now I'd like to turn over to Jarrell Guzman, Newlab's Director of Membership and Operations, for a bit more about this unique program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evelyn, for that introduction. Hello, everyone. I am Jarrell Guzman, Director of Membership and Operations at Newlab. Thank you for joining us today to learn about our sponsored membership through the Innovator Spotlight. During this session, we'll take a deep dive at the community at Newlab and the benefits and value of membership. We are broadcasting today from our headquarters, a former shipbuilding factory within the Brooklyn Navy Yard. This 84,000 space houses all of our prototyping facilities, as well as a number of workspaces ranging from flex desks to full offices. We also provide members with access to bookable conference room, an in-house cafe, on-site IT support, mail services, lockers, bike parking, and more. It's really an inspiring place to work from. Our community is based out of two primary locations here in Brooklyn, and our headquarters are in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and then 77 Washington, just an 8-minute walk away, which is designed to be a landing pad for companies that may have outgrown this space and could benefit from access to large private offices from which to grow their teams. More recently, we have expanded into Detroit, Michigan, with the launch of 2 studio programs in partnership with Ford and Michigan Central. A space for members in Detroit will follow as we look to be part of the tech community in Michigan in the long term. Of course, over the last year, life in the office has looked very different, and we've adapted our operations to keep our members safe while working from Newlab. 2 months before New York entered the first reopening phase last spring, a year ago, Newlab implemented a program that safely and successfully returned over 20 member companies with essential business designation back to work. We're now back up seeing an average of 160 people in the space every day, and we remain committed to maintaining a safe space for all of our 800+ members with a program that includes daily symptoms monitoring, temperature checks, and disinfection of our spaces, as well as contact tracing. This snapshot here really helps tell the story of Newlab's member growth. In just over 4 years, Newlab has grown from 23 startups with a total collective valuation of $175 million to more than 160 companies valued together at more than $2.8 billion. The community also grew from 60 entrepreneurs, engineers, and inventors to a community of over 800 members. At the same time, the aggregate value of member companies has risen significantly, as you can see here. The average company value grew from 7.6 million to 17.5 million today. We've also seen a range of acquisitions during this period, and these stats are really important because they indicate that the resources we're bringing to members are truly helping them grow and scale effectively. Newlab is a truly dynamic community and as well. It's phenomenal and really what we're set out to foster. For members, this means that you can find experts in a range of topics and fields and learn from those who are around you. People with masters and doctorates across a range of topics, experienced entrepreneurs with successful fundraising track records, and people who have built supply chains or figure out manufacturing are part of our community. We really encourage peer-to-peer mentorship and connections, and we provide the tools to facilitate this. What's been really positive for New York in particular is that we have seen that 38% of our member companies have relocated to New York City from elsewhere, which speaks to the role that we are playing and aspire to play in supporting an enduring local tech ecosystem that's part of the fabric of New York City. We encourage, and I'm thrilled to see the level of collaboration across the Newlab community. One of these examples is Jump Bikes, which joined as social bicycles, building a smart lock dockless bike share system. And eventually they brought a pedal e-bike to market as Jump before acquisition by Uber. Working with fellow members Voltaic, Jump designed a custom solar panel to power the bike dock. This is indicative of how Voltaic supports the community, serving as an in-house solar expert teams to assess if and how to integrate solar into their connected systems and IoT products. Clip develops an adaptive system to convert traditional bikes into e-bikes and partner with 10x Beta, a design and engineering firm who supports fellow members in design and manufacture of new products. Tarform is a team building an e-motorcycle that is experimenting with additive and modular manufacturing to design their products and partner with LensCloud to create 3D scans of their models. We facilitate these network connections and collaborations across the member community in several different ways. Through curated introductions, we connect you with the right investors, fellow entrepreneurs, and strategic partners. Our member-exclusive workshops feature advisors and subject matter experts, places to discuss product roadmaps, growing teams, navigating intellectual property, among other topics. We also have a custom design application that supports the member experience, from providing a member directory to booking conference rooms or prototyping consultations, as well as an extensive community that is connected through Slack. The Newlab team actively supports our members. Across our team of about 30 people, there are a lot of different backgrounds and experts and in various subject matters, ranging from marketing to brand development, technical and scientific background. From Satish, Sean, our CEO, loves to talk to teams about management and scaling and business operations. Boris is our in-house expert on product realization. And Jared, who's our COO, helps our members with finance and business modeling, as well as access to venture capital. As a member, you will also have the opportunity to participate in our innovation studios, through which we partner with Fortune 500 and civic leaders to solve complex challenges. As a member of Newlab, you will have the first look at innovation studios when they launch and learn how to get involved. The framework of our studios are about aligning the right problem to solve and places to apply specific emerging technologies. Our team conducts generative research to unpack these problems and match them with the right technical capabilities, sometimes from adjacent sectors as well. We invite teams, typically from around the world, and especially from our members, to join these programs. For the corporate and government partners, the studio provides a way to de-risk new concepts and partner with startups and founders for potential long-term relationships and investments. Let's take a closer look now at the benefits and resources that will be available to you as a member. The product realization and prototyping facilities at Newlab are core to our offering and a shared set of resources for our members. Our members have access 24 hours to each shop, and each shop contains state-of-the-art equipment designed to facilitate product development workflow, from idea design to working prototype. We also empower our community to work on a diverse array of projects simultaneously, helping you to go quickly from hypotheses to implementation, testing, and refinement. Our specialized staff fosters a learn-as-you-go attitude, free consultations, modular curriculum in prototyping skills, as well as full service fabrication. You can see here at a glance the various product realization resources available to members, including a wood shop and metal shop, CNC milling, as well as electronics, lab, textiles, and ag tech. We know that access to capital is critical for our members, and we have a network of over 400 early stage investors and VCs, as well as family offices. We work first to understand where you are at and what you're building and the type of investors that make sense to you, and collaborate with organizations such as Google X, the New York Angels, and AliCorp, as you can see here, to create opportunities for Newlab members to demo their work and seek investment. With Google X Moonshot Factory, we host quarterly pitch sessions and provide valuable opportunities to Newlab members to receive feedback from the Google X team, in addition to opening the door for future collaboration and partnership with X. Twice a year with the New York Angels and 4 times per year with AliCorp, we host a pitch day for Newlab members to present their technology and business vision for feedback and potential investment as well. Our membership benefit package is valued at more than $100,000 and provides discounts and access to services that are relevant to your work, as well as day-to-day operation of your business. And this range from AWX to Brex to discounts from UPS. So the application process, at this point, we are hoping that you're considering joining the Newlab community. And we wanted to take a moment to just go over what our evaluation criteria is usually for membership. For the Innovator Spotlight in particular, we are looking for founders from diverse backgrounds to foster diversity and inclusiveness in thought, especially from perspectives that have not been adequately represented in the technology community. So we are looking for diversity in sexual orientation, gender, identity, race, ethnicity, disability, culture, and economic experience. In terms of the application review process, first, we look at applications that are really trying to understand, when we are looking at applications, we're really trying to understand who you are, the team that you are building, and the stage of your development. We dig deep on the technology to understand the ambition and viability of what you're building and make sure that it's a match for the resources that we can offer, and make sure that we also aren't creating too much direct competition between the companies that are already part of our community. We also consider your point of view on the potential impact of your technology as it scales. And finally, and this is very important for Newlab, we look very closely at social responsibility, especially if there is a sense of social responsibility in what you are building. So the deadline to apply for the Innovator Spotlight is coming up on April 28th. We encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible. In the meantime, you can write us with any questions at membership@Newlab. And now we will open the floor over to questions from the audience. And I want to invite Alexandra back on to tell us what are some questions from the audience up.
Thanks, Jarell. That was great. So we have a couple of questions that I'll just pass along to you. But one of them is if you could elaborate on the concierge program, how does it work and how can it help an early stage founder in particular?
Yeah, this is really interesting. So we have done a lot of thinking and work with our startups to understand what is it that they find the most valuable about being part of the Newlab community. And again, what we hear is connection to other members, as well as connection to our larger network, whether that be investors or corporations that they could potentially work with, or service partners that can provide services to them at a discount. So our concierge service does exactly that. We have a very rigorous onboarding process. As you can see, our application process is already rigorous. So during the application, not only are we reviewing the application, but we're getting to know you. Most of the time we get on the phone with you. We want to understand really what you're building. Oftentimes we will bring you into the space here also for a tour. And those can be an hour-long conversation where we're getting to know your company. During that time, we become aware of what your need as a startup is. Sometimes it is that you need help with marketing and branding. Sometimes you are trying to figure out how to hire the right team. Sometimes you just want to be connected to members who already have passed the stage where you are at. And you want to know, hey, how did you exactly approach finding manufacturing partners, for example? So our concierge service does that. It first identifies needs, and then we connect you with those right resources. Most of the time, connection to other members, followed by connection to investment opportunities and partners.
Great, thanks, Jarell. And I'll also add that from the corporate partnership side that I sit on at Newlab, one of my favorite things is to connect members with corporations that I work closely with. And so I know that a lot of the team kind of pitches in to make these connections, which is one of my favorite parts. So we have actually, a lot of questions coming in. One of them is, do you need to be in New York to apply? We would be happy to leverage this space for product development, but not sure our whole team can relocate.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for Innovator Spotlight in particular, we are encouraging New York-based teams to apply. If this is not the right fit for you, you should still apply for membership, because we truly support teams that are remote as well. So one of the statistics we went over in a previous slide is that 38% of our members have relocated from elsewhere. Oftentimes, those relationships start when the company isn't in Newlab yet. You can still have access to a lot of the services and support that we offer. And so if you are elsewhere and you want to see Newlab as a landing pad into the New York market, or you are building a company that is applying transformative technologies to one of the areas that we support, we really encourage you to apply. If the Innovator Spotlight is not maybe the right fit, you should still apply to us for membership, and send us an email at membership@Newlab, because we want to be able to talk to you and kind of figure out how to help you get plugged into our community so that we can provide the resources that you need in order to scale your business.
Great. And so I'll move right along to this next one. This is another great question. On the Newlab application, there's a field to state your team is in the research stage. Are teams usually accepted in this stage? And if so, can you share more about what makes a strong application at this stage?
Yes, that is an excellent question. So again, what we do first is that we're looking at the application of technology to a problem set. And sometimes there are companies that apply to us that are at that research and development stage. That is not an impediment for membership. It could actually be the right fit, because for many companies, what being part of the community does is that it actually helps validate a lot of those problems that come up during the research and development stage. For us, what we're looking at the most during the application process is that you have some validation of your business model already, because that is what our program is better catered to deliver. So we're looking for different validations of business model, and then figuring out if you are at the research and development stage, do we have the resources here to connect you so that you can truly benefit from being a member at Newlab. But we do have several examples of companies that we have admitted and accepted that are at that research and development stage.
Great. And a couple of these other questions are also kind of similar in that they're, we fit this profile, are we a good fit to apply? So there's one here about, and I'm sure you've come across this before with membership prospects, but we need chemists and a chemistry lab. I saw agri-tech labs, but wasn't sure about chem lab space. So how have we in the past kind of worked with companies like this?
Yeah, so as you saw, our prototyping labs are very extensive, but they do not support life sciences yet. We do have companies that have applied to us in the past, and we're actually in the process of thinking about how can we support your venture. So if you are someone who's working in that space and need that specialized equipment, what I would encourage you to do is to contact us on our website, newlab.com. We have a general membership inquiry form. Fill that out so that we can get in touch with you. And oftentimes what we do is that if we don't have the resource that you need right now, we're looking at, okay, what can we provide in the future? So we want to have that connection with you. And the other thing is that we will look at partners who are in our ecosystem that we can connect you with. So please, if whoever wrote that question, I'll encourage you to go ahead and submit a contact form so that we can get in touch with you, and then we can be of value, even if membership at Newlab is not the right fit right now.
Great. And I saw that person just responded saying thank you. So thanks, Jarell. And we have another question that you've touched on a little bit, but so this question is, my team is small, but I'm planning to grow this year. How do we go about bringing additional members to Newlab, which I think is probably top of mind for this Innovator Spotlight specifically, which is, a lot of early stage startups.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes, we love teams that have, very clear roadmap or our ambitions in terms of how they're planning to grow. So one of the ways in which we truly support startups is that we work with you at every step of the way. A sizable percentage of our companies start with us with a flexible membership, meaning they have access to the space, but there's not a dedicated space within the building. And then once you have close that round or you have reached a certain technical milestone and you're ready to hire the team, we will work with you. So in our space, in addition to flex memberships, we offer desks, private studios. And as I mentioned in a previous slide, we also have another property that is nearby at 77 Washington. And so our goal is to connect with you and then support you as you grow. So you don't have to make a commitment from the day that you start. You can start small, and then we work with you to help you scale and to help you provide the resources when you need them.
Great. And so we only have a few minutes left, and there's a pretty specific question around printed circuit board manufacturing, which I heard from our product realization team. So this question was, does Newlab's headquarters have printed circuit board manufacturing capabilities? I manufacture wireless transceiver PCB boards. I heard that we do have a PCB router, but it depends on the frequency, trace size, and spacing to determine whether it's possible to manufacture it in-house at Newlab or send it out. So hopefully that answers your question, and anyone else who had a similar one. But maybe we can fit in one more question. How about, can community groups apply? I see a deep need for housing developments to use technology to curb crime.
Yes, absolutely. So again, what our mission is to help entrepreneurs, inventors, engineers apply transformative technologies to large-scale problems as applicable to infrastructure, city, and health. So if the community group that you are working with supports that, kind of as a catalyst for helping the application of transformative technologies, then we definitely want to talk to you. So again, I would, for the person who answered that question, I would encourage you to just reach out to us so that we can explore the possibility of having you join the community.
Great. So we have a number of other questions that have come through, but maybe let's see if we can try to fit in one more.
I think we can fit one more, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So being the application process is so vigorous, is there any support provided during the process? I know that this is fairly abstract, but I think it's a great question.
Yeah, so maybe we can dive a little bit deeper into how exactly we do this. So we have an application on our website, which I'll encourage all of you to apply. And then, we look at the answers, and generally what we do is that we do a follow-up call with the applicants. And so, if there are questions about the questions that we're asking on the application, I'll encourage you to reach us at membership@Newlab so that we can address it. But just know that what our process involves is actually a conversation with you as well, so that after submission, after that initial review, we are getting face-to-face with you and getting to know you. There's a lot of detail that oftentimes is easy to miss during an application. And when we find applications that are promising, definitely we want to talk to you and uncover, again, what are the needs, and we're exploring, okay, is this really the right fit? Are we able to provide you with the resources? So if you have questions about the application or need support during the process, email us at membership@Newlab so that we can address your question, or otherwise go ahead and submit the application and know that we will review it with rigor, but also get in touch with you after.
Great, thank you, Drill. And there were a few that we didn't answer. So I would encourage anyone who is still curious about learning more about the program and getting in touch and getting some of these questions answered to reach out. But with that, we'll wrap it up. Drill, I'll hand it over to you, since I know you will be speaking to many of these applicants yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for those closing remarks. And again, the deadline to apply is April 28th. You can see here the link over on the presentation slide. You could also go to our website at newlab.com, find the application there, or reach us at membership@Newlab. But I look forward to seeing all of your applications coming through.
Thank you, and have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.